Whitetail Edge is brought to you by Mossy Oak, Black Widow Deer Lures, Novix Tree Stands, Prime Archery, and G5 Outdoors.
That's Ranger right there. Freaking monster buck. I mean a monster buck. I came into a spot that's a lot of bedding. Hilly, a little bit hilly. Some thickets in it. Crops on the outside edges. It's a great doe bedding farm. There's always a good deer running around in here. You typically meet, some mature bucks. And I decided to give Ranger a break. Just not sure if I want to shoot that deer. I think he's only 4.5. I've had some bigger mature deer down here, not score-wise, but more mature walking. Some down here, so I decided to come down here and hunt this spot. I got Bill. He's dead right there. Oh, thank you, Lord. It's been a rough deer season for me. Have been continued to hunt some with no luck. Could have shot deer, but just not deer that I hold my standards to, I guess. And I don't want to be that guy that gives in and shoots a buck that, I'm always preaching that, I'm not hunting or I don't want to shoot or whatever. So nothing against anybody that, like I said this a million times, it's up to anybody to shoot what deer they want. I don't care about that. But for me, I can't, tell people that I manage for 5.5-year-old deer or that's what I'm trying to do on our farms that we own and lease and things. And then cave in and shoot a 3.5 or a super 4-year-old on just to have it on film. I'm just not going to do that. Well, hey guys, we're here this morning. We're on one of places I hunt here in Illinois. We're going to do some burning today. I got my buddy JP here. He's going to help me. And JP's got his own food plot business, and he's actually going to be the guy going to plant these food plots on this place for me because I don't have any equipment up this part of Illinois, and so it's too far for me to get to. So JP's going to make some money off me, and he's going to help me burn this. And I've burnt some stuff, but nothing this big. And he brought his buddy Jesse with him. I got Dylan behind the camera, so there's 4 of us. And we're going to do some burning today to make this field better up top. And it's in a CRP program anyways. So we're going to try to make it better, give it more food for the deer this year. And we're going to intertwine some plots throughout it, and we're going to lay that out later today.
Like right now, there ain't nothing going to bed in this.
Exactly.
It's wide open. It's just laying
there.
The
biggest deer in Ohio, some of the biggest deer I've ever hunted have always been around weedy, growed up fields. Old hay fields that have growed up, like old mustard in them and like just those natural forbs and grasses. There's not much CRP in Ohio, but it'd be more like just a field that was starting to grow back to natural with little saplings in it. Man, always those big bucks would be around those fields.
Yeah. Yep.
My first booner lived in one of those fields.
Really? Yeah.
Or spent a lot of his time in that.
Well, and they like it. Like I said, that's, once you get this thicker, the fawns love it. You know, they'll come in here and they'll lay their babies in here, and then like they said, the big boys, they'll come in here and they know mamas are going to be in here, and they'll scent check this like crazy.
And that's why I want to, you know, I've got this Novix over here already, and I want to kind of draw them to this corner by putting a little plot in this corner, and I can attack them. I got a couple different trees to pick from here.
Yeah.
And we might put one over there too. We'll just, let's drive around it quick, and then you can see it all.
All right.
So you know what we're getting into.
Yep.
This is our preparation, getting our water tanks ready. JP's a pro at burning, so he's kind of giving us the rundown on the precautions we need, because we don't burn much, and I burnt some the other day and did good till I got down to the bottom field. And then that one got away from me a little bit, but I got it. Yeah, so I got a particular deer on this farm. I call him Ranger. And I believe he's a 4-year-old last year, so I believe he's 5.5 this year. He might be 6.5, but I believe he's 5.5. And I was kind of hunting him last year because it was our first year having the farm, and you know, he just looked really big in the velvet pictures. Well, then once I actually started getting some hardhorn, I started second guessing. And I really started to feel that he was 4.5. Then I saw him one time hunting, had an encounter with him at about 60 yards, and I was pretty sure he was 4.5 years old. So I elected to back off this deer, prayed that he would get through the season, and he made it. Last I knew, he was still alive. He had shed out. He had broke one side of his rack. Obviously, the neighbors know about him too. They're going to try to kill him too. But I believe this year he could possibly be a 200-inch deer. Maybe even bigger, I don't know. If he makes a jump like I think he's genetically inclined to do, he should jump. So this is part of the process of trying to make this farm better, to keep him on this piece and try to put food sources in certain areas to keep him tight to bedding in early season and keep him closer to where I can try to hunt him. Well, here it is, July 17th. Getting ready to head to Illinois this morning. Got my trailer loaded up. If you can see all that back there, but got a bunch of Novix stuff, weed whips, chainsaw, you name it. Just all the stuff that it takes to grind for deer. So got a bunch of cell cams ready to set out. Got a bunch out already, but they just need refired back up and rebatteried. But I guess I'm going to call this the quest for Ranger, because he looks pretty incredible so far, so we'll see. But this is just part of it, you know, getting out there and grinding for deer, and looking forward to getting some stuff done. Got to get my fire brakes mowed and things like that for burning CRP next spring and things. So just praying for a safe trip, and just part of it, building the story right here.
Whitetail Edge is brought to you by Illusion Hunting Systems, Analogics, Blocker Outdoors, Deercast, and E-Bikes of Holmes County.
Well, we're in Illinois, getting ready to do some food plotting. Just trying to grind it out and get them all done here this week. So we got the Casco hooked up to the New Holland boomer. We got a mower, we got fertilizer, we got a spreader, we got everything we need, hopefully all in one shot. So that's what we're working on. So this is where we were burning this spring, more up on top of that hill. But I got a plot back here that we burn. I'm getting ready to go check it out. Haven't been out here all summer. It was real dry this summer, like super dry. But this is the roadblock by Analogics right here. And for as dry as of a summer as we've had. I cannot believe this stuff is that tall. I really can't. I mean, they've had 0 rain until just the last couple weeks. And so I really can't imagine what it would look like if they'd have got the rain out here. But this is the farm that I'm hunting ranger. This big cedar thicket up in here. Well, there's cedars up there. You can't really see them real good right now, but there's a big thicket up in there, and that's where I think he likes to spend a lot of his time, and he likes to come down through here. So I was trying to use this wall of roadblock for one to kind of hide between the neighbor's field there, because there's people that hunt over there, which is fine. I mean, me and that guy are good friends. But what I'm getting at is it's just, I like the deer to feel a little more secure. And I also wanted to use this so I could slip in the mornings to get back here and maybe not be seen if there was deer over here. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I guess we'll just, we'll see. But I got some mowing to do today. I've got a Novik stand here. Got my electric chainsaw, my easy cut, some climbing sticks, and Spartan cameras, some new batteries and stuff like that. So just doing work. Here it is, July, so my birthday's in a couple days, and maybe this will be my birthday present, is to do the right kind of work that I can kill ranger this year. Well, I'll tell you, we just timed everything perfect, and we really didn't know that that was going to happen, but we just finished up these plots yesterday in Illinois, and we got rain this morning. We were going to go do some cameras this morning on another farm, get some cameras fired up, and it started pouring rain, so we just decided, you know what, we'll just hit the road and head home. We'll come back. But what a blessing to get rain on your food plots after all that work. I'm just sitting here looking at the rain gauge. You can see this little blue icon right there. That is a rain gauge through DeerCast maps that you can set up, and you click on it and it'll tell you just how much rain you've had in the last 24 hours and historically, or the current hour, however you have it set up. But we basically got just under an inch of rain, which is awesome. So that is another feature to DeerCast and the map system that is really great. And it's just, you know, you can place those rain gauges at any farm you've got. Like, you can just drop them. They're a waypoint kind of like deal, or an icon. You just put it down. And I have them in Ohio, Illinois, my leases, just places that I have stuff planted, and it just tells you how much rain you've got, and be great for farmers too. So anyways, just thought we'd talk about that. Really excited to see how these plots start turning out. Well, hey guys, I'm packing my trailer here. I'm hitting the road in the morning. I've been getting just enough pictures of Ranger here recently to know that he's around. I think all the efforts we did this summer are paying off. I don't get him a ton, but I get him just enough to know that he's close. I know he's not spending all his time on the piece I can hunt, but I know he's kind of in and out. And so this cool front's coming here early October. It can be absolutely magical this time of year. So I'm packing my trailer. I'm headed out early in the morning, and I'm going to try to hunt the next 4 days through this cool front and just see if we can't capitalize on it. supposed to rain tonight. So that's God's big eraser. Hopefully it'll erase all my sins that I've left around this field. Give me a clean slate to start from. See what I can do here with the wind next few days with this cold front coming in. I could literally throw up in my mouth right now. I just had Ranger at 62 yards. I literally just got in the tree. I got up in here about 3:50. Was sweaty. Had a long walk in. Biked half the way, walked the rest. Got up here. I got my shirt off, as you can see, because I was sweating. I was wiping down, just getting ready to pull my bow up, get my shirt on and stuff. I look out into the plot and Ranger's out there at 62 yards. Walking across the edge of the CRP and the plot at the same time. I just can't even believe it. I probably wouldn't have took that shot, and I don't think he was going to get any closer the way he was acting. But I went to set my back against the tree because I was like, well, I need to get my bow up here and get my release. And my back hit the tree a little loud, and he heard it, and he looked over this way, and I think he saw me in this tree stand. He just kind of tucked up and just kind of skedaddled. He didn't blow, or he just kind of giddied on out of here. Unbelievable. This deer is like, oh. So now I don't know what to do. Probably get down. He ain't coming back here. I think I'm gonna go down on the bottom plot now. Because maybe he'll circle around. I don't know. He might actually try to come back in here later tonight to smell, see if it really was what he thinks. Or he just maybe headed off to that big hardwoods over there to eat white oaks. I don't know. He was right there. He came from there. Stayed out there on that edge. Unreal. Well, I just had an encounter with Ranger on a different food plot. I'd literally just climbed in the tree at 4 o'clock. Well, 3:50. Doesn't get dark till 7:05. So I moved to this bottom plot. It's about 350, 400 yards away. Maybe he'll circle around, come into this plot, but I've never had a picture of him on this plot yet this year. But I've had some other good deer. There's another deer on this farm I'd shoot. I call Pitchfork. He runs through here some. He don't live on this farm, but he goes through here. And if I could see that deer, I'd shoot him because I can kill 2 bucks in Illinois. And he's a wicked deer. Old deer. Needs shot. I'd be tickled with him. God's got a plan with Ranger for me in some way or another. Maybe for somebody else to get him. Maybe it's not meant to be me. I don't know. But I learned a little bit something about him. I haven't had pictures of him on that plot at all, and I had a hunch that maybe I just wasn't getting him on my camera. That maybe he was staying farther out. Sure enough, I get up there and there he is. So, I don't know. You know, these deer, they just always throwing you for a loop, man. You just gotta grind and try to figure them out, and that's the fun of it. If it was easy, it wouldn't be fun. So I'm gonna sit on this little clover plot that we planted. It's a little Analogics Pro Clover plot. We planted some roadblock along the edge of it there. It looks real pretty. And we did some over there on that edge. That's the neighbor's bean field. This is my CRP. And we planted roadblock there to kind of hide that, because that neighbor's hunters walk in on that side. So, just don't want them to be able to see in here much.
Well, literally just biked all the way up in here. It's super windy. Yesterday, I was in that tree right there in that Novix. A clover plot and CRP fields out there. This little tucked in plot. I believe Ranger was bedded on that side or somewhere in that CRP against the edge of the woods. But the way the wind is and what I think he's doing, I need to hang another stand. So I'm up here while it's windy. It's 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to sneak around through this woods. There's a little tiny oak tree over there. I'm going to get in and I'm going to sit there, and I think if he does the same thing he did last night at 60 some yards from me, I'll be able to cut him off a little quicker and my wind will be blown over this hill better. It's still a crapshoot. He may not do it again because I think he boogered a little bit yesterday, as you saw me talking about. But it's my best chance as far as being able to get an eye on him again. Best wind without screwing this all up. So it's my best access point. It's everything that I can deal with is the best it can. So I'm just going to deal with it and do the best I can and give it a shot. I've got a Raider here. Got my jacket packed or tied to my seat. Got my bow. So I'm going to grab this stuff and sneak through the brush here and get over there. Well, I just got this stand hung. It started to rain. It's real windy. It's a good time to do it. Whether I see him tonight or not, at least it's in the tree. I'm limited on how much I can use this stand though, because it's a small tree and not a lot of cover. But if he happens to walk in the next 2 days or so and I'm hunting here right here, I should be okay. But I put myself within 23 yards of where he come through yesterday. Yesterday it was at 65, 63, something like that when I saw him. And he just stayed on this edge, and I don't even know if he'll do it again tonight, but in case he does. But I've got a Spartan over there in that corner over there, and I have never gotten him on that camera in weeks since July. And last night there he was, and I had a gut feeling that he just wasn't using that part of the plot and he was just working this edge of the CRP. So I went with my gut and I saw him. He works the other end of the CRP a lot. Clear down at the other end down there. But it's so hard to get to it. And I'm just gonna settle in here. Maybe I'll get lucky and he'll be close tonight and he'll come to this little plot. Or just work this edge, headed to work on these big acorns back here. This woods in here is just loaded with oaks. I mean, it's like raining red oak. There's some white oak hitting, but mostly red oak. So I'm just gonna duck in here, stay low, not move a lot. I don't got a lot of shooting here, but I've trimmed just enough that I can shoot to that corner right there if he skirts this edge. So just see.
Whitetail Edge is brought to you by Redneck Blinds, HHA Sports, NFP Insurance, Miller's Gun and Supply, and Deer Grow. Whitetail Edge is brought to you by these other fine partners.
It's getting dark. I'm gonna get down. Decide if I'm gonna hunt in the morning or not. Just saw them does earlier, that was it. No other bucks. So, I don't know. It's just the way it goes. Didn't see near the amount of deer I thought, but with this wind, I got worried that it may not be very good. But there were some deer moving on my cameras, but more in the bottoms. So it makes sense. Got a doe back there out in the CRP. I got a little buck working the edge over here. I made a mock scrape right here. First night I came here, I hung at the back of this field, and I made a scrape right here when I come up this logging road. I used some Dominator in it. They hadn't been using it yet, so I opened it up real good, put some Dominator in it. I'm hoping, and there was deer tracks in it, so I'm hoping that they're using it. This little buck's getting a little bit closer here. Oh my gosh. There's Ranger right there. Ranger just walked out to the corner. Oh my gosh. I just shot a freaking giant. Yes, yes, I got Ranger, yes. Holy cow, dude. He is down. He just fell right there in the pot. Yes. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. Oh, thank you, God. Oh, oh my gosh, he's a giant. Oh, fourth sit, we got him. Yes. Oh, I cannot believe it. I just had a feeling he was going to come the opposite way tonight and come up into this plot, checking for scrapes. Maybe nose and does. It's just that time where they're checking their scrapes. They're just telling everybody who they are. They're making appearances. That's what dominant bucks do. Oh. I cannot wait to go put my hands on this deer. This has been a long wait. Last year to this year. Oh, what an epic story. Oh, gosh. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my gosh. That mega meat ate him alive. I had to shoot him 1/4 I didn't want to, but I was afraid that, he came right to this scrape and started working it. And my angle is not that great. And he was just getting ready to start working at that other little buck, had just worked it. And when I grunted, it was just enough to make that deer, he was like, whatever, he was coming, and that other deer just took off. You can hear him run underneath me. And Ranger was coming right to that scrape to tell everybody, no, this is my scrape. And he come right to it. Yes! Black Widow. Yes. I'm just telling you, dude, branch butter, straight doe, Dominator, all that in these, it's a killer combination this time of year. I can't believe it happened. I can't. He's a giant. All right. I'm out here in the edge and I'm getting close to him. Holy smokes, dude, this deer's, he's something else, man. Holy cow. Look at this deer. Hey guys, Ben here. Got something pretty amazing sitting right here in front of me. This is deer I call Ranger. It's an epic story.
a 2-year deal. I've kept it really hush-hush, and I closed the deal on him tonight on my 4th sit for this deer this year. And I don't know what else to say. There's so many things to thank and so many people and sponsors and family and friends, and I start listing names, then I'll leave somebody out and I'll feel bad. I just want you all to know that I care, and I appreciate, and I appreciate all you fans. And I mean, you don't understand what it means to me, because I really do believe that Whitetail Edge has some of the best fans out there. I mean, you guys move the needle for our show. You buy the stuff we support, and it's because of things like this. Like, we believe in this stuff that we use. And, I just, it's not gimmicks, man. I shot this deer in a scrape tonight. There's just so many factors that go into killing deer like this. And, started killing deer like this when I was young, not quite like this big, but, this could very well be my biggest whitetail ever right now. I'd say it probably is. I haven't put a tape to him yet, but I don't really care about that. He's well over 200, I'm sure. He's just a giant whitetail. The story for this deer is going to be epic. I cannot wait to tell it and bring it to you guys on video. And I self-filmed killing this giant tonight. The mega meat ate him alive, and I watched him fall. He didn't go 50 yards. And I don't know what to say, man. I just feel so blessed, and I just want to thank God for his blessings and to be able to chase the whitetail, and thank my family and my buddy Dan, buddy Mark. Thanks to Alex for coming and taking the pictures, and, just love all you guys, man. I hope you guys have great success this year. God bless you. So I've got Ranger back, and I'm going to scan this deer with the Classic Racks app. And the Classic Racks is an app where you purchase a scan, and you can digitally scan your deer. You take the pictures. It'll tell you to take like 100 pictures or so of all angles of the rack. And you basically just take the pictures and move around, and you get it from all angles. I'll take it off the wall, set it on the floor. If you watched any of our social media this year, or you can go to our social media pages, you can watch where they actually came here and they scanned every one of my deer. Obviously, I didn't have Ranger this summer, so I got him back, and I want to make sure I have this rack digitally saved so that I can, if we have a house fire or anything happens, I have the rack. They can make me a replica, and I'll show you one here. This is just a mini replica that they did for me of Scissors, which Scissors is up there, but it is unbelievable how accurate, just by them scanning with a 3D, that they could make me this replica with every little detail. I mean, every bump, every sticker, unbelievable. The crooks and the G2s, it was insane. And this is just a miniature. So like, you can get minis made, you can get big ones, you can get bronzed. But it's a way that if you ever have an accident or somebody steals your antlers, your mounts, you can have it. They can make you it won't be the real one, but it'll be just like it. And it's really just an amazing thing. So check out Classic Racks, get the app, and you can store all these, in your file. And you don't have to you have to pay for the scan, but the scan's not expensive. But like, when it comes time, if you need to make a replica, then it's going to be a little pricey, but it's better than not having anything. So I would encourage you to just check it out, and back up all your deer heads, all your trophies that you want like that. Doesn't matter. It can be elk, moose, anything with antlers, they can do it. And they do other stuff too. So just check them out at Classic Racks. I think you'll be really impressed. It's one of the coolest things we've come across. And they'll be at a lot of shows this year. If you're going to sports shows, look for them. And I think they actually might even have a list on their website or their socials of where they're going to be.
Thank you for watching this episode of Whitetail Edge. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified when our next video drops. For more Whitetail Edge content, tune into the Whitetail Edge podcast on Apple and Spotify, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram.